Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Retro Magazines and Patterns. I'm Sophie, and on today's video, I thought I'd start by taking you guys for a little walk around our property. As you can see, it's really beautiful out today. The sun is shining, the skies are blue, and it is not too humid yet, but it's still early in the day. I'm with my two daughters and our dog Chief. And you can kind of see we have some really pretty views around here, lots of plush greenery, lots of pretty trees, and oh, yeah, look right there. You see the beautiful clouds. There's our barn. And we're walking down to what we lovingly refer to as our secret garden. And we call it that because we didn't even really know that it was there until after we had purchased the property. So as you come down or up the road, whichever way you're going, you'll see this little grown-in driveway. And there we go. There goes Chief. And up in here, we have a small peach orchard. So we do have some peach trees up here. Last year when we first got here, we did have some peaches, but they were really small. So we did do some pruning on the trees to like cut it back a bit and see if it would help us grow in some, healthy peaches that we could harvest this year. So we are getting a few. I'll show you some of them up here. So there you can see them. They're still small, pretty green, so they're definitely not ready to be picked, but we do have some peaches growing. So we're hoping to get a decent harvest this year. And I really am looking forward to making some peach jam and some peach cobbler. Okay, so here we are in our barn. We just recently got it's our first batch of chicks, to be honest. So this is all new to us. We call it the chickening. So here we are. We were changing their bedding out. So they're getting bigger. We've had them for about 2 weeks now. But we are just getting, used to taking care of them, keeping their bedding clean, fresh water, fresh food, all that stuff. The kids have taken a real liking to them. My kids have been really great with handling them, being gentle, but not being afraid to, get in there and grab them. As you can see, they really don't mind just picking them up and putting them in the bed. And here we're almost done getting them all back in. They made quite a mess in their little basket there, but at least we know they're all in a nice clean bed now. Got them. Okay, so here are our raised beds. We just have a few seedlings in there. Definitely need to get some water in there today. It's been quite hot here lately. And then you'll see we have our herb bed up here. But I just wanted to kind of show you guys what life looks like for me. So this is my view. It's really beautiful. I feel really blessed to have such a beautiful, peaceful, quiet life up here. Oh, and here I just had to show you guys these beautiful flower boxes we have. And a little hummingbird feeder, which we do get hummingbirds daily there. But I hope you guys really enjoyed these little clips. Let me know, if you enjoy seeing this kind of footage. I'd be happy to show you guys some more around. But that's what life looks like for me up here. Okay, guys, so I hope you enjoyed the little tour, our little farm trip around the property to see kind of what life looks like for me up here. But I also thought that it might be fun to go over some of the whips that I've been working on. I had somebody comment on one of my previous videos that it might be fun to share some of the things I actually make with you guys. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought that's actually kind of a good idea because I make a lot of things. So I wanted to start with something that I've kind of been working on a bit lately, and it was something that I wanted to share with you guys later this year, but I think it's going to take me a long time to get through them all. But currently, I've actually been working on all of the characters from this Stranger Things crochet book. So this is a Thunder Press crochet kit. This is one of those box kits that comes with some yarn and a hook and the instructions. You can make 2 with the materials that they give you, but they give you a total of 12 patterns altogether. Now, again, I understand this isn't exactly vintage, but it's certainly retro in my opinion, especially since it takes place in the 1980s. So in this book, we have 12 different characters. I'll go ahead and I'll flip through and show you guys the ones that we have, and then I'll show you the ones that I've worked up so far. So the first one that they have is going to be, and that's just my little notes there, but this 11 doll here, she's really cute. This is from the first season, so if you're a fan, you'll probably recognize it. And then we have the Demogorgon. We have Will Byers, and this is up to where I've completed. I am currently working on Mr. Mike Wheeler at this point. I've kind of come to a standstill with him though. I got a little frustrated with his pattern. And you know, I could go over that when I finish him and show you what I mean, but like I found it a little confusing and not really written in a comprehensive manner, at least for me. I think one of the problems that I had was that I didn't really read through the pattern before I started it. So it may be partially my fault, but I think I'm getting back to a point where I want to pick him up again. But I've been working through them in order. I didn't want to get too excited because my favorite character in here is Eddie Munson, so he's towards the end. But next will be Dustin Henderson. And then followed, of course, by Lucas. I like Lucas a lot. His headband looks like it's going to be some fun to make, so I'm looking forward to making him. And then we have Max. And then we have Steve Harrington. I kind of wish they would have given us a different outfit for Steve, but that's fine, because then next is Robin. So you have to have the 2 of them together. And then there we have Eddie Munson. So he's what I'm really looking forward to making. Not entirely excited about the hairpiece. I'll show you what I mean when I show you some of these characters. But the hairpieces, they're a little bit involved. But as you can see, they turn out really nice. They do make a really nice doll. So, and the last character is Vecna, which I thought was really fun that they had a pattern for Vecna in here. Obviously, he doesn't look as scary as the real Vecna. Could I even say he's a cute Vecna? I'm not sure. But at least he's in there. So this is one of the things I've been working on. So I have the 11 doll. She's right here. And I think she looks really great. I think she looks a lot like the picture in the book. And I was trying to stay as close as I could. Sorry, I've got these little pieces of fuzz on her. I was trying to stay as close as I could to the pattern as far as colors and things like that are concerned. I did opt to use the googly eyes, and if you've seen me do some of my other projects in the past, you know that I really like the personality a set of googly eyes can give a crocheted amigurumi doll. And then next I did complete the Demogorgon. So he is bigger, which I was glad, as when I first started I thought, oh my gosh, you're going to be the same size because they're so much bigger. But he came out pretty good. I think I probably could have spaced the petals apart a little bit better. And I actually ended up just taking a stab at attaching them. I didn't follow the instructions very well. Again, some of these instructions weren't really very clear, at least in my opinion. So this part I found a little tricky, but if you're familiar with crochet, just, you know, an intermediate, you know, medium level, you'll be able to figure out some way to get those on there. And then, like I said, I did finish up Will Byers as well. So there is Will. And for these, I used just like a worsted weight yarn and a 3mm crochet hook. I think that the patterns do call for like a DK or whatever, but I always have so many colors of the worsted weight because I make so much amigurumi that I just decided to go with the worsted weight, and they're fine. I think they look really great. I will say that because I use different brands of worsted weight yarn, it may have messed with the like dimensions a bit. You can see that his vest is a little bit longer than it probably should be because his legs are probably a little bit smaller than they should be. But all things considered, and that being said, I'm really happy with the way they turned out. And you can see what I mean with the hairpiece. So like the hairpieces, you know, you're knitting them around like that, and then you're just chaining down and chaining back up all the way around. So they take a bit of time. So they're a little time consuming. With Will Byers' hair, I actually found that I felt like it asked for way too many pieces, like chains for the hair. I don't feel like I really needed that much, but I followed the instructions as was, just to kind of see if he would turn out, you know, like he should. And I was happy with the way he did. Let's go ahead and do a little comparison with him and see, because I was really happy with 11. Um, oh, you know what? I think I missed one because I think there's a second 11 here in the back after Vecna. There is. So there's the season 3 11. So we'll make her as well when we get to it. And here is the Will Byers. So you can kind of see the comparison. I did the best that I could with the hair. Again, like I said, I didn't put the stripes in his shirt, but I just felt like there was too much hair on there for me. I feel like there's not as much hair in the picture as I had to crochet there. Also, another thing that I noticed with this crochet book is there were a lot of times where color changes weren't indicated in the pattern. And that did mess me up a little bit. Like you can see that his shoes are white here. And that was because the pattern told you to start with white, but never had me change it to the dark blue or black of his shoes in the picture there. So, and that happened with the Mike Wheeler too, with the t-shirt. There was a lot of confusion as into like the color changes. So I just got a little frustrated with that, but I'm going to pick them up again soon because I really do want to finish these. I'd like to have the whole book completed before the season comes out. I believe it starts in October of this year. So last season, if you're a fan, I bet you're just as excited as I am. So, but that's where I am as far as the Stranger Things crochet is concerned. Now, I am working on a free pattern that I can link below for you guys. You've probably seen it if you enjoy doing knit toys. I'm sure you've come across this guy, but this is Terragon the Dragon. So this one is complete. I've finished him, but I found him so fun to make and so cute. He was not difficult, a little time consuming, a little, I'm going to use the word tedious just because like you can see the spines here, so much repeat over and over. So that did get to be a little monotonous, but that being said, he was a lot of fun to make. So I decided to make another one. So I am currently making one in a really fun bright pink color. Let me get him out here. So he's a little bit smaller. I use smaller needles on purpose. So I do have this cute little body done already, and I am currently working on his tail. You can see I have the tail piece. Tail is going to be stitched onto the back, and then the spines will be stitched up. Add the wings, arms, and legs, and he'll be all done. But I actually don't think I'm going to stop with this one. If you saw my recent vintage haul video in the beginning, I showed you a really pretty vintage yarn I got a few skeins of. It was called Persimmon, and it was like a really nice bright mango color. And I was looking at it the other night while I was working on this pink guy here, and I thought, oh, that would be a really cute color for another dragon. So I think I'm going to actually make a third dragon in that persimmon color. My husband is currently working on putting up some shelves for me in my little corner, my little nook where I work. And that way I'll have a place to kind of showcase all the makes that I have, along with my favorite books, just like a cozy little corner there. And I really wanted to put these guys in that corner because I read a lot of fantasy fiction too. And I have a few books that include some dragon characters, and I thought these would look cute up on the shelf next to that. Okay, now the next thing that I've been working on, I hope you guys will really like because this has been really a labor of love for me. So I'm going to start with this one, and we'll see if you guys can figure out what this group is as we go through it. So right here we have this adorable, cute little knit rabbit, and this is a pattern by Claire Garland. You may or may not have heard of her patterns. I think she's British. Whatever, I love her patterns. I've purchased probably 5 or 6 of her patterns at this point. I just really enjoy working them. They are involved, but they're well written. And if you take them line by line and you just kind of focus on the task at hand in each of the patterns, you'll end up with a really cute finished project, like this cute little rabbit here. Now, I did use a really like heavyweight worsted weight yarn for this, and I wanted that. I knew that it wasn't going to look um factory finished, I guess is a good way to put it. I knew he was going to look handmade, but I wanted that. So I was happy with the way he came out. I do plan on making him in another color because my little sister saw him and loved him. And so now I have to make her one. So I am going to make another one of these, but this is Rabbit, and I have two more that are completed and one more that I'm working on, and we'll see if you recognize them yet. So the next one, let's probably just give it away, is this adorable little donkey. So we have this cute little knitted eeyore, and this was another one of her patterns. She has a whole collection of Winnie the Pooh character patterns. So my goal was to complete, I wanted to do 5. I wanted to do Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore, Rabbit, Tigger, and Piglet. So far I have 3 completed. I have Eeyore, Rabbit, and Winnie the Pooh, which I thought was really super cute. I even went so far as to go and buy the little safety nose for him because he was so cute. I just thought it wouldn't look done unless I had the right nose for him. So I finished up to him, but I am currently working on Tigger. And so I'll show you what he's looking like right now. And you'll kind of get an idea of what I mean when I say these can seem really involved. And then you just need to take them line by line when you're working the pattern. So let's move these guys out of the way here. And here is Tigger. So the nice thing about these are they are knit flat on 2 needles. So these are not knit in the round. That being said, there is going to be some seaming involved with these. So you are going to be doing a little bit of seaming. So, if you enjoy a good mattress stitch or a back stitch, you're in for a treat with these. You're also going to use a lot of markers. She will mention throughout the pattern where to place specifically colored markers so that you can go back and reference those points when you need to do stitching. So, for example, it might say match the green marker with, you're not going to, but match the green marker with the blue marker. And then you would know that you're going to be stitching up that area there. So that's one of the reasons I like these patterns so much, because they are really well written and really well explained. So although they look really involved, like I said, if you take them one step at a time, these are not going to be nearly as difficult as you think. So like I said before, Rabbit is a free pattern. So I'll go ahead and link that below if you guys want to try him out. You could probably make one that's not as derpy, as my kids would say, as derpy as this one, but cute nonetheless. And I think you can find all of her patterns on Etsy. I actually believe I purchased Winnie the Pooh on Ravelry, and then I found her store on Etsy, and I got Eeyore and Tigger there, and I'm going to be going back to get Piglet there soon. And I have my eyes on a few more of her patterns, but I actually think she published, there is a knitting book for Peter Rabbit patterns, all the different Peter Rabbit characters, and I think those are her patterns. I think she wrote those patterns. I've been waiting to get my hands on that book for quite a while. So I'm thinking after I finish these guys, it might be time for me to move into the Peter Rabbit characters. But these have been keeping me busy, trust me. So these guys are what I've really been working on a lot lately. And then one more thing that I do have to share with you guys, and I'm really excited about this one because this was made from my own pattern, and I actually have a video coming up soon that I made sharing how I made him and his pattern. But it's Superman. So Superman's going to have a new movie coming out this year. I think it's in a few weeks, in the beginning of July, I believe. So I thought he's my favorite DC comic hero. So I wanted to make him and make my own pattern. So I did that, and I did create a video for you guys, and I'll be releasing that soon. And the full pattern is at the end of that. So if you guys like him, he'll be coming up soon too. But those are all my makes and my whips currently. Again, I think I kind of run the gamut here with all of these guys. I know I have eclectic taste, I've been told, but let's just line them up here. We got some dragons. We got a demogorgon. We have eeyore. We have piglet and rabbit. And then I'm still working on Tigger and Terragon the dragon. So that's what my whip pile looks like right now. I do have a few other things that are on the hook and on the needles that I haven't gotten to. You know what? I actually think I have one more I can share with you guys. Ugh. This is another one with a pattern that I made up on my own. And this is actually my daughter's birthdays are at the end of the month. And I'm making them each one of these. I like to call this my little dumpling bear. So I'm almost done with the second one. This one's going to be in pink. The other one's going to be in like blue and purple for my youngest daughter. But I like to make them a little gift every year for their birthday, and that's this year's gift. So now you get to see what my whip pile looks like. So I am always working on stuff, even if it seems like I'm just flipping through old magazines. I'm always making something if I'm not reading through old magazines. But I hope you guys enjoyed sharing some of the whips with me and taking a trip around the farm with me, seeing what I see every day. But, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you guys hang out with me again. But let me know in the comments below what your favorite whip or finished piece was. I'd love to know. If you're excited to hear about any of the upcoming whips finished, or if you have any ideas for me, I'd love to hear those too. But until the next video, I hope you guys have a great day and you make lots of great things and finish some of your whips, and I will see you then.